Yeah, the hair is gone. Look, man, I'm tall, I'm blessed, but bald. But if you're not in the Discord, which by the way, check it out, you guys know I had a $29,000 week this week trading gold in 3 days. And I've got to be honest, guys, I've been teaching people how to trade for multiple years now. I've been trying to give as much information and education as I can possible. The best thing I could ever tell you to do, and the best thing that I wish I could instill on every single person right now specifically, is to get on gold. Trade gold. I am done with NQ. I never want to trade it again. Gold has completely changed my life. I don't want to do anything but trade gold. I have no aspirations to go back to NQ. I can do less work and make more money with better price action and less margin. We're gonna get into exactly my trade recaps that I took this week, give you guys some ideas on trades that I took. In all honesty, I haven't really told you guys about gold or made any videos about gold because I've only been trading it for about a month. I don't believe I have enough sample size and education just yet with gold to give you guys information on it, but I've made almost 100 grand in a month trading it, so I feel like I'm at this point where it's getting pretty close. Like and subscribe, and by the way, this is the first time I'm going to announce I'm finally partnered with a prop firm. This is something I've been super passionate about for the last couple of years at this point, waiting to find a good prop firm that could work with, that I love, that I trust, and that I've used before. So excited to say, use code STEPH at Alpha Futures for 10% off any purchase. Oh, I've always wanted to say that. Any firm work I do going forward is going to be through them, and the offers that they have, the accounts they have, the rules they have, I think you should do the exact same. Once again, use code STEPH, Alpha Futures, and you. I love you. Let's go. So before I even go into any of this, I want you guys to understand we are trading gold now. This is gold, so this is going to be completely different from NAS. So the one thing that's been really hard for me to mentally click, this has nothing to do with stocks performing well or not. For example, in the NAS, we have to see all these tech companies, all this AI news, all these earnings every quarter. Gold is just the price of gold. So what you really need to rely on here is news and supply and demand. Okay, those are really the only two things that you can really base your trades off of, because nothing else is going to be moving gold in any sort of direction significantly. You guys know we have all this war stuff going on, all this war tension. It's caused a lot of chop in gold, and same with NAS as well. No one really knows what's going to happen. We're very close to this tariff stuff. We're very close to this new war. Price is going to move like this when everybody realizes, hey, there's something that's very close to happening that could literally explode this in either direction. So regardless of what the chart is doing, it does not matter. Let me give you the full breakdown of this trade. Okay, so this was on the hourly time frame is when I got this entry, and we were buying into this chop. The main thing you need to do when you are trading gold is just understand the current price action and the current market conditions and buy into that. Meaning, yes, we were making a lot of lows here. We were seeing a lot of buys, but I noticed, of course, we are consolidating extremely hard. The previous trend was bearish, so I was leaning to the bearish side, again, playing that bear flag consolidation. And how do we make sure we stay in this trade without getting stopped out? We have our stop loss at the very start of this consolidation, and we basically ran a one-to-one off of it. Once again, referring and bringing it into buying into the market conditions. A lot of people would see all these buys here. They'd see this, slowly buying up, slowly creeping up, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, let's run a trade here. We got in here, our stop loss is here, and we play this back up to go higher. This looks like it wants to go higher. In my eyes, you need to rely on the chop. You need to believe in the current price action more than playing off of a hope and dream. I see the market's consolidating. I see that we're making lower highs. I'm going to buy into that chop. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting into this consolidation, making sure we get out at the right time as well, but also making sure our risk is avoiding the chop. With this stop loss set up, I'm pretty much giving myself enough room. I'm okay. I'm opening my eyes to more risk and more danger and more money lost to beat the chop, to not have to stress about getting stopped out of this trade, believing in the consolidation, giving myself enough room, knowing that to make sure this trade goes the way that I want it to. And I mean, when we dive deeper into it and we look at the shorter time frames, it would have played out regardless of where our stop loss was. We really never were down on this trade. We got in right on this candle close. I alerted this in the Discord, and we pretty much dropped right off of that, hit our low, but look at how well we bought off this zone we had. Again, believing in that supply and demand, playing off the supply and demand on gold. It's insane. Look at how well we just picked right up off that low, took out this high, easily came, and then right back down. More chop, bought off the low, came back down, more chop, bought off the low, came up, bought off the low. Like, look at how well supply and demand plays off in gold, man. And it's just so easy. It's so easy. This is where your mindset comes into play, and this is where your intuition comes into play. The biggest thing I can teach you guys is about your intuition, buying into your beliefs, understanding that you're mentally in a position where you need to make sure you are playing along with the right side every single time. Seeing this, acknowledging this, hey, we are chopping, we are consolidating. Let's not play for the big breakout. Let's not play for the big jump. Let's play and let's get dirty and let's buy into this consolidation, and I'm going to trade it as well well as I can. And if I do catch a good trade like I did here, we're going to take our wins and we are going to step away and wait for this consolidation to finish. A very simple way you could have worked in this chop was just anytime you saw buys off of this low, if you were trading off of it, say you got in here or you got in there, you got in here, whatever, right here, just run one-to-ones. Run one-to-ones off the low. Make sure you are getting in and getting out, making sure you are just risking what you're willing to make. And at that point, you're good. Don't go for some big breakout. Don't look for a fucking ginormous dub. Don't get in right there and then, try and target 30 points. Know and understand this is going to come back down. Right now, it looks bullish. Right now, we can try and catch another one of these tops, but let's make sure we get our profit, we get out, and we continue on with our life. Once again, I want you guys to see this trade again that I took that only got 4.5 points, but for me, that's around $3,000. Trading off of this low, seeing we have buyers here looking in this area, we ran a stop loss at the low of this candle. And of course, we got it on this red candle close right here. I'm anticipating buys because we have not broken underneath this zone. If I were to break underneath this, I would get out and close my trade. Notice how here I have a 4.2 TP and a 2.9 stop loss. I actually am not going to have a 2.9 stop loss here because once again, I need to see a close underneath this zone to invalidate it for me. But if in this case, really, if I had a 4.2 TP, I would really run a 4.2 SL. If it goes lower than this, I'll usually just close myself out. Remember what I said with this about how you have to play dirty? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not going to be able to play off of zones like this all the time because it gets dirty, man. This is not how you look at it. When you look at examples on TikTok or on Instagram of people showing you, oh, look at this perfect supply and demand exit, it doesn't work like that. Until a candle is closed beneath the zone, the trade is invalidated. If you do run a trade like this where your stop loss is here, you're going to get stopped out more times than not, and then you're going to blame it on me and say, hey, Steph, I said this worked and it doesn't work. Look at this area right here. So we have this initial low being created, and that's where the zone obviously came from. We saw buys here where it did play out perfectly, but look right here. Broke all the way beneath this, came all the way back up, closed above the zone. That means that trade is still validated. Boom, and look how it popped up. And look what happens again. It came back down, broke below the zone. You would have got stopped out again and came right back up and went even higher. Same thing here. Broke below the zone, and then look at how perfectly well this zone held itself and came all the way back up, right back to this high. Same exact thing here. Held, broke below, closed below, and notice how we actually saw a continuation back down. That's really where the big difference comes, and that's how you have to kind of play this game. I've gotten so much more open and realize with it that things are not always going to go how they are expected to off of the rip. I have to believe in this trade because I believe there are buys here. We saw buys here, obviously. Then we saw buys here. We had a nice pop up. I was looking for a very small trade. I was looking to just TP at this high. We hit it perfectly to a T, but if this would have broke below, came back up and closed, I would have probably stayed in this trade. It just, is how the game goes, man. It's just like sometimes there's going to be things that just don't go exactly how they were planned. That's why trading is so difficult, is because people will just stay way too by the book. When you go to school, when you work a job, the first day on the job, they're telling you to do this perfectly, do this. And as you go on, you just kind of realize there's things that have to be done certain ways, and you do them, and it's a little bit easier than what you were initially told to do. It's completely different until we see the break below. Boom. Then we see this flip right here. Look at how well we rejected off of this, because you guys know supply and demand. This demand zone now turns into a supply zone. Once we break below that, look at this, bought off, sold off, bought up, sold off again, jumping shorts there, run the same thing, you would have hit TP. Now for the biggest trade of the week, in a way that I really don't think there's a lot of other people that do this. So this is something I don't really know what to call, but it's something that I do. When I do have a zone like this on the hourly, I notice, hey, we have this low right here and we have this low right here. So what a lot of people do is they would mark out this entire area, because look, we have the wick here, obviously the bottom of this week and the top of this week. So they would either mark it out like this fully, or what I like to do, because I don't like to run ginormous stop losses, because most people would, have to get in here, stop loss be all the way here, it'd be 20 fucking points. What I like to do is I kind of like to combine these zones together, because I obviously notice big area for buys. Look at how well, and look at how much we came up off of this low right here. Same exact thing here. Look at how many buys held and supported itself here. So what I like to do is I like to combine them. So what I will do is when I have a zone area like this, I will mark out bottom of this wick to bottom of this wick, and this is where we're really looking for those buys, and this is where I caught the biggest trade of the week for me. If you watch my TikToks and stuff, you see that I bought this bag a couple days ago. It cost me around like $3,500, and you guys know I like to just trade and make money. So price was actually in this area right around here when I first got on the charts, but of course I bought that bag and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to make it back. That'd be a great video. See if I can make it right back after I buy it. And around here I saw that we had this low created, that I'd had this zone drawn out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna see if this comes down. I'm gonna see if we see some buys off of it. I'm gonna get in the trade, and then I'm going to run a pretty much 1-to-1. I think it was a little bit less than that, just because I just wanted to make the 3,000 and be done with it. And what do you guys know? Right off that low, right off that very bullish low that we believe that we had, this low all the way back here, We played off of that and we hit a really nice trade. Look at how well we came up off of it, pushed even up higher, came all the way back down, held again. And I actually took a trade overnight on this. This was around 2 in the morning on Friday night. And what I did was I got in this trade right here. I saw that we made a doji off of this low, and a doji is just sign of a potential reversal off of a zone. This looks perfect for a nice close back above and a push back forward up. And what happened was I took this trade, I set my stop loss at this low, and I went to bed and I woke up around like here. I think I caught around 17 points, I believe. I don't remember to a T. I'll put a screenshot up of it. This is a good life lesson for you guys. Trade on the higher time frames, use supply and demand to your advantage, and just do what I exactly just did right there. See how I fell asleep? I didn't care about the trade. I took a good setup and I let the chart do its thing. I had my order set and I let the chart just roll. I had a bias. I believe we're going to see buys off this area. Once again, we broke below it. So we know now, hey, we have buyers underneath us. Buyers held this area. It's obviously important to them. We want to see this continue up. We let the chart do its thing. So many people would see this go up all the way up to here. Oh my gosh, I'm up like 1,200 bucks. Let's go. Come all the way back down, get stopped out of break even because they're scared. And then boom, look what happens. This comes all the way back up, goes even higher, rips to the moon. And I wake up while I was sleeping, made over $10,000. I don't know what life you would want to live that is different than mine, but I'm in a pretty good position. And I think you could do the same exact thing as long as you surround yourself with the right people. Click that link in the bio. But on top of everything else, just take good trades over and over and over again, and you will see results with this stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to go play pickleball and be rich. I love you guys. I'll see you guys soon.